There it is, Rowie Ashwin, 457 test wickets now, 31 times he's taken a fifer, averaging 24. Don't worry about him being night watchman, AB. It's more about his bowling. Had's picked it up early, opening the bowling. That surprised me.
Yeah, no, Nostradamus struck again, picked it. But, look, you've got to give credit where credit's due as well. Yep. I mean, 2 or 3 quality spinners bowling in those conditions, it's not going to be easy. But our methodology was just left wanting.
All right, what do we got to do here? Mark Wall's calling for changes. Do we make some changes? What's the process? Second Test match starts Friday in New Delhi?
I think there'll be a few changes because players who have been injured will become available. So they're,
So Cam Green could come back.
I think there'll be a few changes. I don't believe in the, like knee-jerk reaction to performance like that. They can't get any worse than that. But I just reckon they got it wrong with the final make-up of the side. So I'd like to see a few changes myself. Play with a harder edge too. I mean, we're giving blokes thumbs up when they beat us outside the off stump.
I'm glad you're here, AB.
That is just ridiculous. Don't go stupid, but play Australian hard-nosed cricket. Yeah, I don't believe in giving someone a thumbs up who's beat me outside the off stump. Bloody hell.
Yeah, well, I agree. I think our planning, if you look back at the conversations leading to the Test match, was spot on. You've got to trust your defence. Don't worry about the ball that gets you on the outside. It's the one that comes straight that we've got to work on. And that's exactly what happened. India didn't do anything out of the ordinary. Yep. They did the basics well. They challenged our defence, and we weren't able to stay there for long enough. When you've seen Marnus and Steve Smith in the first innings, they played really well. Marnus changed his style in the second innings, so he started to second-guess his plan. That's where they've got to start. Start with what your plan was and trust in your own plan.
Okay. Are you making any changes, do you think, for the next Test match?
I think they'll have a look at it. Mitchell Starc becomes available. Josh Hazlewood also. I think the 2 spinners did a good job. Do we need a third? There'll be talk about the batting order. Do we get the batting order right? Do we get the selections right there? Can Travis Head play up at number 3 and take the game on a bit and put pressure on? So these will be all the discussions going on for the next few days. But the Australians got to put that out of their mind, and they've got to make sure that they get their planning individually right to face these spinners.
I suppose it's hard, AB, when you get knocked over for 91 in the second innings and all out in the session, to think about panicking, because I suppose you're trusting your judgment prior to the start of the series, and you've only played 1 Test match.
Well, these guys, played so well during the Australian summer. Same blokes that we just, saw play terribly today, in particular. But you've got to sort of, can't panic too much. I just think that they got a few of the selections just wrong.
Yep.
Travis Head should have been there. What position? I'm not 100% sure about, high up the order or down the order, but. There's one mistake I think they made, so they'll just have a bit of a rethink. Don't panic too much, but I'll be going in with a harder edge for sure.
One thing I would say is obviously the selectors do cop it a fair bit, but they got it right with Todd Murphy.
Well, Todd Murphy,
you've got to congratulate him for that.
Yeah, he was the one shining light. We've heard a lot about him, that he was the second best spinner in the country. We're worried about playing 2 off spinners, but that was put to bed. He was outstanding. He was getting better and better as the game went on.
And look at that batting card for Australia. As I said, all out 91, just over a session in under 33 overs. Don't forget, in 2 of those, Warner was dropped and Steve Smith has bowled on a no ball. So could have been worse. Not by many runs maybe, but it could have been uglier.
Yeah, it could have been worse. And going back to someone like Carey's dismissal, what you've got to give credit to is the quality of opposition you're playing against. Ashwin knows that Alex Carey's going to sweep every ball, so he just changes his direction of his delivery. He just bowled a bit quicker and flatter and hit him on the front pad. So you've got to challenge the bowler as well to do something different. If he knows you're doing the same thing all the time, they're too good at these Indian spinners not to come up with a plan. Now,
they've got a bit of time off the Australians. Next Test match starts on Friday in New Delhi. I'm expecting nothing to change for India. They're not going to... the pitch is going to be relatively the same. This pitch, even though it looked ugly at the start, probably played okay. Yes, of course, it's going to turn, we know that. But the second Test match starting on Friday, all the action right here on Fox is in Delhi. I'm expecting they're just going to roll out the same type of thing.
Same. Why change? You know, the formula's been there for years now. Play straight on a dryish surface, offer some turn, and we just haven't found a method yet to combat it.
And they've gone in with the two quicks, they've gone in with the three spinners, three front-time spinners. I suppose their difference was Patel batting, the all-rounder, Jadeja an all-rounder as well. They were solid, weren't they?
Well, all their three spinners can bat. And we've seen that in this test match. The one player that they could change is Axel Patel. You could bowl the wrist spin of Kuldeep Yadav. He could come in, but it doesn't matter who comes in. It's Australia just have to get their plans right and be better.
Yeah, well done to Ravi Jadeja, AB. 70 runs in that innings, but his bowling's been superb. Rohit Sharma, that 100 was amazing as well, and Ravi Ashwin. So they've got three guys really that could have been man of the match.
Oh, yeah, look, that was just a great team effort at the end of the day. But those three you mentioned in particular, they were just standouts. The 100 from the skipper, brilliant. He just didn't put a foot wrong until he got out. Jadeja, wickets, runs, just all-round skills. He's just getting better and better as he gets older, and they're the real deal, particularly in their own backyard. They're going to be very, very hard to get on top of.
I loved what Rohit Sharma said, saying it all started with the two wickets. When Australia were 2 for 2 with the quick bowlers and the seamers. You often talk about spinners, but they got off to a fly, didn't they?
Yeah, and they did. And I think that a lot of that came about it. I think Australia were worried about the wicket. I think they were spooked on what it was going to do. And Davey, around the wicket, once again, he got out. Usman Khawaja got a good ball. But to start the test match with 2 for none, you're on the back foot straight away, and it didn't get any better. Rohit Sharma's 100 was the one for me. The way he took on Paddy Cummins to start, he was 40 off 40 balls. He set the tempo. Then he didn't put a foot wrong. He just controlled the whole tempo of the rest of the innings, and everyone batted around him.
Are they going to make changes? Pat Cummins was pretty short with his press conference there.
He was
We've got George Bailey, I think's over there, Tony Doddermate, Andrew McDonald. Are they going to panic?
They won't want to panic, but I just reckon there's just a couple of areas they need to tighten up on for sure, and just a bit of freshness, get a few of the scarred guys out of there and get some fresh guys in there. But they're all good players. They'll know a little bit what to do. They haven't been in this position for a while, have they? They've had a couple of good summers in Australia. So, I'm backing them in, but it's going to be hard work.
He was short, wasn't he, with his answers?
Yeah, he was short, Paddy. I don't think they'll make any. I don't think they'll panic. I think Green will come back in if he's fit, and that's the obvious one. Then you've got Stark and Hazelwood. If they're fit, I think one of those will come back in. Stark would make a big difference for the Aussies as well, with the left armour, with some footmarks to bowl into also.